Hi there, I'm Scarlett, and I hail from the heart of Dallas, Texas. I'm a 35-year-old woman. I have got a story to tell, so grab a seat and let me take you on a little journey through my life. It all began when I was 25, living the Dallas dream. I'm a Texas gal, born and bred, and back then I was just your regular gal working at a local design firm. Life was pretty sweet. But then one day, while I was sipping on my go-to caramel latte at this cozy cafe near work, I crossed paths with what I thought was destiny. I met Nick, my husband, and let me tell you, he was one charming dude. He had just rolled into Dallas after wrapping up college in New York. This guy had a smile that could make ice cream melt in a snowstorm. We got to talking, and before we knew it, we were head over heels. We would chat for hours about everything under the sun, our dreams, our lives, and it felt like we had known each other forever. Love was in the air. A few years later, under the Texas sky, we made it official, tying the knot in a beautiful, intimate ceremony. Just a year after our sweet wedding day, our little Rex showed up. He was a bundle of joy with big blue eyes and the most infectious giggle you would ever hear. Our family was complete and life was perfect. My little Rex is 7 years old. He is a real firecracker, full of life and curiosity about the world. Watching him grow and explore life has been the greatest joy of my life. A year ago, I walked in on a scene that I had never thought I would witness. It was a devastating revelation. My husband, Nick, was cheating on me with none other than Bella, his best friend from college. You know, I always thought Bella was harmless. She had been around since forever, and there were moments when I questioned her proximity to Nick. But Nick, ever the smooth talker, used to tell me she was like a sister to him. I took Nick at his word, for my trust in him was unshakable, and I believed that our bond was equally strong. Bella would visit Nick from time to time, flying in for what Nick portrayed as innocent reunions. It struck me as odd, but I did not want to appear paranoid or irrational. I told myself they were merely best friends catching up. Then came that fateful day when I discovered the truth. Bella had flown into town for the weekend, and she was insistent about babysitting Rex while I enjoyed a much-needed outing with my friends. I decided to catch a movie and perhaps do some shopping, relishing the rare chance to unwind. Nick told me that he was called into his office on a Saturday, so he had no choice but to go there. My friends and I did watch the movie, though our shopping plan had been canceled due to an unexpected change in one of my friend's schedules. I returned home a lot earlier than anticipated. As I walked into the house, a chill ran down my spine and my heart sank. There, right in front of me, was a sight I could never have imagined. Nick and Bella were kissing each other, and they both were all over the couch. What the hell is happening here? Scarlett, what are you doing here? You were supposed to be here later. Huh? Are you serious? This is my home, not yours. Also, that is my husband and not yours. Scarlett, please, babe, this is not what it seems to be. I can explain. I don't need your explanation. How long has this been going on for? Nick looked at me in the eye and told me the truth. Well, a while. How much is a while? Don't get angry, Scarlett. It was when you were pregnant with Rex. But it was an on and off thing, I promise. Since I was pregnant? You were cheating on me while I was pregnant with our son? It has been 7 years. I am disgusted by you, Nick. Scarlett, we never meant for it to last this long, but we love each other. Love? I can't believe this. And where is Rex? Where is our son while all this is happening? I put him to bed earlier. I lied about the office call. You put our child to bed, and you were doing this while he was in the next room? Scarlett, I know I messed up, but it was not like that. I never wanted to hurt you or Rex. Scarlett, please believe us. We are so sorry. Yes, I'm sorry, darling. I'll do anything in the world to make it up to you. Sorry? Sorry does not fix this. You have betrayed everything we had. Our family, our love, everything. And you, Bella? I let you into my house without ever questioning you, and you do this. You are nothing but a homewrecker. Scarlett, please, we need to figure this out. I love you, and I don't want to lose our family. Love does not involve cheating. I need some time to think about this. I will leave. Oh, you surely will. Bella left in a hurry, and Nick decided to sleep in a different room for a week. The tension was suffocating and the silence was deafening. I was absolutely shaken. It was incredibly difficult to come to terms with what had happened. This was beyond disgusting. Nick, the man I had loved and trusted, had turned out to be a pathetic excuse for a husband. The ultimate betrayal was staring me in the face. For a week, we didn't talk. It was all cold shoulders and distant glances. The house felt emptier than ever, even though we were all under the same roof. I could not continue living like this, torn between the love I had for my son and the anger I had for my husband. So, after a week of soul-searching and sleepless nights, I made a decision. I had to choose my own well-being and that of my son over a man who had deceived me in the worst possible way. Nick, we need to talk. Scarlett, I am again very sorry for what happened. Save your apologies. I've made my decision. I want a divorce. Live here in Dallas or go to New York to be with the love of your life. I already know your office has a branch in New York City. You are out of this house. Ask them for a transfer or something. I do not care. I want you out. Scarlett, please let us not rush into this. I messed up, but I love you. Messed up? For 7 whole years? It never even occurred to you what you were doing to our family? It is not like that, Scarlett. Bella and we never meant for this to happen. But it did, Nick. You chose to betray me, your wife, with your so-called friend. You two love each other, you say? So go spend your lives together. I don't care about you anymore. Scarlett, please don't do this. I'm begging you. You lie at the lowest tier of the pyramid, Nick. You are a disgusting man. You don't deserve to be in this house any longer. What about Rex? He is staying with me, obviously, until the court decides what's going to happen. Scarlett, I don't want to lose my son. You should have thought about that before you made your choices, Nick. You have 1 week to figure out your situation and leave this house. Within a week, Nick decided to leave our city and live with Bella in New York. He transferred offices to be with her. I couldn't believe the audacity of Nick. After all that had happened, the way he moved on so quickly was baffling to me. The day Nick was leaving, he decided to have a little chat with Rex. Hey, champ, I need to talk to you. Daddy, what's up? Well, buddy, I have to go away for work. It is a special project, and I don't know how long it'll take. But why, Daddy? Sometimes grown-ups have to do things they don't want to. How long will you be gone, Daddy? I don't know, buddy. Goodbye. The first month without Nick was like a roller coaster of emotions. On one hand, it felt liberating to have the freedom to set our own routines without the cloud of his betrayal hanging over us. But on the other hand, there was a constant sadness knowing that Rex was growing up without his dad around. As a mom, I felt this immense responsibility to make sure Rex was okay during this adjustment. We created our own little world, filling it with new experiences to replace the gap that Nick had left. One of the toughest things I had to do during this time was contact a lawyer and file for divorce. It was a heart-wrenching process, but it was a necessary step to move forward. The pain was unbearable. Then sometime later I received a phone call from Nick. It was the very first time we had spoken since he left, and his voice sounded different, as if he had changed significantly. Scarlett, it's been a while, hasn't it? I just wanted to let you know that Bella and I are doing really well. We are happier than ever. Good for you, Nick. You know, Scarlett, I've realized that you were not quite the woman I needed. You didn't understand me as Bella does. Well, I'm glad Bella is the woman you need. So did you just call me to insult me like that? So here's the reason I called. I'm in Dallas and I want to pick up Rex. I miss him. 1 month has gone by and no phone calls. You did not even pick up any of Rex's calls, and now all of a sudden you miss your son? We are not divorced yet, and Rex belongs to both of us equally. I'm taking him to New York City with me for a week. It will be good for him. I think it is essential for Rex to spend some quality time with his father. It will help him adjust to the changes. I understand that, Nick, but we should work out a proper arrangement. We do not want to disrupt Rex's routine or create confusion. Scarlett, I'm his father. I know what's best for him. I already bought his plane ticket. This is happening. I will drop by later tonight. Just pack a bag for him, will you? Sure. After my talk with Nick, I had to shift gears and prepare Rex for his week with his dad. So I packed a bag for him. You know, the essentials, his favorite toys, clothes, and that worn-out stuffed bear he can't sleep without. I wanted Rex to feel at home wherever he was. Then came the heart-to-heart talk. I sat him down and tried to make it as light as possible. I told him he was going on an adventure in New York City with his dad, and Bella would be there too. Oh, the innocence. And then I gave him his tablet and told him I would contact him about it. He was nervous and excited at the same time. Later that night, Nick and Bella came to pick Rex up. I watched them from the window as their car pulled up. Bella, I did not know you'd be here too. Well, Scarlett, you should have expected that. Bella and I are together now. Yeah, Scarlett, we are very much together. Look, this is not the time or place. I can't believe he'll be living with you and Bella. You better believe it. And one more thing, Nick. When you are with Rex, please don't tell him what's really going on between you and Bella. Don't put any ideas into his head. He's just a kid and he doesn't need to be caught up in all of this. You are always overthinking things, Scarlett. I'm just protecting my son. As they left, I was left alone with my thoughts. Life had been happening so fast with so many changes in just a couple of months. It was hard to catch up, you know. I could not help but think about Rex staying with Nick and Bella, especially Bella. Would he be confused about why his daddy was living with another woman? It was all so overwhelming. This was the first time Rex had been away from me for an extended period, and it made me a bit anxious. I knew he would be in good hands with his father, but I couldn't help but worry about how all these changes were affecting my little boy. Thankfully, I had a solid support system. My friends and parents were there for me, providing comfort and a listening ear when I needed it. I was incredibly grateful for them, and they helped me navigate the emotional roller coaster that was my life at that moment. For the next 4 days, I made it a point to video call Rex every day. Each time he picked up, it was like a little ray of sunshine. Sometimes he was out in the park with his dad, and on one memorable occasion they were at Coney Island riding all those funfair rides. Rex seemed so happy, and that was a relief. Bella was often there with them, and it was hard to see her interacting with my son. The pain was still fresh. On the 5th night of Rex's stay, when I video called him, my wildest nightmare came true. Hey, champ, how was your day? What did you do? I've missed you. We went to a museum, Mom. It was so cool. I wish you could have been there. That sounds fun. Where is your dad, by the way? He's not home, Mom. Oh, he's not? It is quite late, so you must be with Bella, right? No, Mom, I'm home all alone. Wait, what? Is there a babysitter with you? No, there's no babysitter, Mom. Rex, it is 10 at night. Did you eat something? Dad said he would get pizza on his way back home, but he's not back yet. Hold on a minute, sweetheart. I'll talk to your dad and find out what's going on. I was mad, furious even, at Nick. How could he leave Rex all alone? It was irresponsible and, quite frankly, unacceptable. My concern grew as I tried calling both Nick and Bella, but neither of them was picking up. It was as if the universe had conspired to send me into a panic. Desperation began to set in. I called Rex back, hoping to hear his little voice on the other end, but there was no answer. My heart pounded in my chest and fear gripped me like a vice. I could not help but let my mind wander to all the worst-case scenarios. Had something happened to them? Was Rex okay? My thoughts were racing a mile a minute, and all I wanted was to hear my son's voice, to know that he was safe and sound. I called all three of them again and again, but there was still no answer. At that moment, I knew I had to take matters into my own hands. Desperation drove me to pick up the phone and call Jordan, a close friend who worked in the airline industry. I explained the situation to him, the urgency of it all. Without hesitation, he assured me that he'd do whatever he could to help. I had to get to New York, to my son, as quickly as possible. Jordan worked his magic, arranging the earliest flights possible. The flight was scheduled for 4 in the morning, and the hours leading up to it were the longest and most agonizing I had ever experienced. At 3 a.m., I could not wait any longer. I knew I had to get to New York as soon as possible to find out what was going on and to make sure Rex was safe. I left for the airport in a hurry. As I sat there on the plane, I couldn't stop the tears from flowing, my heart pounding with panic and fear. The seat felt like a prison, the minutes stretching into hours. I knew where Bella's apartment was, having been there once during a visit, but finding my way there at that hour was a challenge, and the dark, quiet streets of New York City only added to my sense of urgency. It was 9 in the morning when I finally reached Bella's apartment. Exhausted, frantic, and terrified, I stood outside her door, my heart pounding. My knuckles hit the door in a hurried rhythm, each sound feeling like an eternity as I waited for someone to answer. Rex finally answered the door. It seemed like he had just woken up. I hugged him and held on to him, crying, "Rex, I'm so glad you're okay. I was so worried." "I was asleep, Mom." "Thank God you locked the door from the inside." "Dad told me to." "Rex, are Dad and Bella still not back yet?" "No, Mom, they're not here." "Well, sweetie, Mommy is first going to make you a quick snack and then pack your bags. You are coming back with me." I stayed at Bella's apartment with Rex until 1 in the afternoon. The flight back home wasn't scheduled until 3, and there was no sign of Nick and Bella. With each passing minute, my fury grew, and I could have throttled them both with my bare hands for their irresponsibility. I couldn't fathom how they could leave a 7-year-old child all alone and not have the decency to communicate with me. God only knows where they were, what they were doing, or why they had left my son unattended. I just wanted to get back to Dallas. We arrived back at our home in Dallas around 8 in the evening, and I could not help but feel a sense of relief wash over me. Still, there was no word from Nick. I had so many questions and so much anger, and a part of me was also worried for him. Then, after having takeout for dinner, I dialed Nick again, and this time he picked up. But this time, I was not letting him off the hook easy. "Hey, how's it going?" "I'm okay. It's been quite a day. Where have you been?" "I just got around to listening to your voicemails. You sounded concerned about Rex last night." "Yeah, I tried to reach out to him, but he was not responding yet. So, where is our son?" Well, yeah, I noticed you called last night and this morning. We had a lovely pizza night, watched a movie, called it a night early, and today we've been out all day. That is all well and good, but where's Rex right now? I really want to talk to him. He's not answering my video calls on his tablet. Rex is here with me, actually. We're having a great time playing together. Oh, are you? Hold up a minute. I handed over the phone to Rex and put it on speaker. Hey, Daddy. Oh, my God, Rex. Hey, buddy, how did you get there? Mommy came to Bella's house in the morning and took me home. Rex, I'm really sorry for leaving you alone and not coming back last night. Give the phone to your mom. Rex, honey, why don't you go and play? Thank God he's with you. Bella and I were just about to go to the cops. Listen, I can explain. Nick, do you have any idea how worried I was? You left Rex alone overnight. I couldn't reach either of you. You didn't even bother to call a babysitter to watch Rex. What if something bad had happened? And on top of all that, you just lied to me. Scarlett, I'm sorry. We lost track of time. We were out partying with a few friends. Partying? You left our son alone to party? It wasn't planned. We had a few drinks and it got out of hand. Then our phones died and we couldn't contact anyone. We were so hungover we woke up literally in the evening. You just vanished. Do you know how irresponsible is that? You know, this isn't the first time something like this has happened, right? I know, Scarlett, it was a terrible lapse in judgment. We should have been more responsible. And you were hungover for what, the whole day? You decide to pick up my phone now? Weren't you a little bit worried about our son? Like I said, the drinking got a bit out of hand. Nick, there is no excuse for the danger you put our son into. You left our child alone, scared and worried. You will pay for this. Oh, you're threatening me? Blaming me for having a little fun? No wonder you're all alone and sad. Enough, Nick. I will make sure I get full custody of Rex. Oh, just keep dreaming. Little did Nick know that during our conversation I had been recording every word, capturing his excuses and apologies. I knew I needed evidence, and it was clear that this situation had spiraled out of control. After that day, I immediately contacted my lawyer to discuss the best course of action. I told him about how I wanted the full custody of Rex, and I had all the evidence I needed to prove the kind of dad Nick was. The evidence I had gathered painted a grim picture of Nick's actions, and the court took the matter seriously. The judge made it clear that despite his regret, Nick's actions were a clear breach of parental responsibility. I fought fiercely for my son's well-being, and the court recognized that Rex's best interests were my top priority. In the end, I was granted full custody of Rex, while Nick was given limited visitation rights. It has been 6 months since the divorce, and I've started moving on. I'm even seeing someone new. But let's get one thing straight. Rex is my number one. Always has been and always will be. Nick, well, he's pretty mad about the whole divorce thing. But then, out of the blue today, Nick called me up sounding all desperate and regretful. He drops a news on me. Bella cheated on him. Talk about a plot twist. He wanted me to take him back. Ha ha, what a joke. Well, they say what goes around comes around. And today, it seems like life's giving Nick a little taste of his own medicine.